Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience.
Hello, welcome back to Big LEZ'S League. Make sure if you haven't already to go ahead and click the subscribe button, become a part of the Big LEZ'S League community. Also follow all the socials that will be linked down below as well. We are growing slowly but surely, so make sure you do become a part of the community. Quick, smart, click the subscribe button, follow all the socials, would really appreciate it. Welcome back to another episode of The Drawing Board. We are going to be talking about SuperCoach and NRL Fantasy. If that's your cup of tea, keep on watching. Obviously, a little bit of a rough week, but at the same time, I mean, I'm happy with these scores, obviously, off the back of Origin, off at the back of the past few weeks. We've had a number of players out with buys. We've just started to slowly get players back and make some trades that are really going to help our side. So, yeah, I'm really keen going into this round. I think we've made some changes that are really going to help this side. So, SuperCoach, the score was 1,041. Not the worst score in the world. I'll take that any day of the week, especially with a number of players out. The top performer was James Tedesco. Really solid week from him. Obviously played very well for the Roosters. Plenty of involvements, 11 tackle busts, ran for nearly 300 metres as well. He had a big game and was my top performer in my side. As for NRL Fantasy, Reid Marnie, he stole the cake there with 78 points. 78 points for NRL Fantasy is huge. Obviously, the points, they get tallied up very differently. Obviously, a lot less points awarded, I believe, for NRL Fantasy for certain plays, such as line breaks and involvements and stuff like that. So a 78, I'm extremely happy with that. Extremely happy with it. So, yeah, big score there for Reid Marnie. Big effort for the Bulldogs and a big win over the Sharkies. Obviously, that 1-point win off the Matt Burton field goal. We've got some great trades this week as well, which I am very excited to show you. In terms of the ins and outs here, we'll start off with SuperCoach. Obviously, the outs are Nick Meaney. Obviously, with this injury, there is no expected time for him to return. So he's going to be out of this side, but trading him out, we're making that tough decision. We are going to be bringing in Dom Young into the back line. Super excited about this one. I've been trying to get him into the side for a while. Been trying to find the perfect moment, and this was it. Now, I didn't want to get this particular hooker to replace Jeremy Marshall-King. Obviously, Jeremy Marshall-King, he had to come out with this injury. It looks to be a syndesmosis, so it looks like he will be out for the next few weeks. If he does get named in Team List Tuesday, I'm going to be absolutely shocked. Obviously, Jeremy Marshall-King comes out of the side. If JMK is named, then I will be reversing that trade straight away. But Jeremy Marshall-King, at the moment, he comes out of the team. I've brought in Blake Brayley. Now, this is going to be a very temporary move. The play is going to be to potentially get Reid Marnie over the next few weeks. He has got a pretty solid 67 base, or a 60 base, I'm pretty sure it was, which I'm very happy to snatch if he does go well over the next few weeks. So Blake Brayley, the temporary move, he's going to go quite decent for me over the next few weeks. So they're going up against the Titans this week. So nice little matchup there. I thought I'd bring in Blake Brayley. So Nick Meaney and JMK out, Dom Young and Blake Brayley in. The only reason Reid Marnie isn't in this week is simply because I couldn't afford him. Let's talk about the ins and outs here for NRL Fantasy. Lomax, or Zach Climax, as some would call him, he comes out of the side. Look, obviously the injury in his lower leg plus Origin duties and just some low scores over the past few weeks in general. I just thought it was time to get him out of the side. We do bring in Will Hotboy Price. The Englishman for the Newcastle Knights. He combines very well with Jackson Hastings. I can see some good scores coming over the next few weeks. Anything over 40, I'm going to be happy with Will Price. And I think he can do that. That's very achievable. Plus, you're getting back KP over the next few weeks. That left side is going to be humming. I really am excited to see how Will Price goes, and I think that he will be one of the highest scorers, and I think his price definitely will go up over the next few weeks. So I've snagged him nice and early. Nick Meaney also comes out of the fantasy side. Again, we don't know when he's going to come back from this injury, and I just saw it was a perfect opportunity to bring in Jerome Hughes into my fantasy side. Again, Already have him in SuperCoach, been waiting to get him in NRL Fantasy, and I thought that this was the perfect opportunity, and still have about 157k left in the bank as well after this change. So very much so worth it. Jeremy Marshall King, not Jeremy Marshall King, Jerome Hughes. He comes into the side. Great footy over the past few weeks. Probably one of the informed halfbacks in the competition as well. Super excited to have him in my team. So the SuperCoach side going into this week for myself. We see Dom Young coming into the back line. We also see Blaze Talangi come into the starting back line. Rocco Berry drops out. We do also see, in terms of changes, Blake Brayley obviously starts at 9 for me. I have got Angus Crichton and Josh Curran coming back into the team. Obviously, changes from 2 weeks ago, obviously after Origin. And then the bench is Jaden Campbell, Liam Henry, Matt Burton, Tamale Martin. So looking for a big week here for SuperCoach. As for NRL Fantasy, the team list going into this week, we do see Will Hotboy Price go into fullback. We see Kale Weeks and Dom Young also in that back line. Kale Iro and Jacob Kiraz are the centres. My halves for this week is Captain Skipper Jerome Hughes, Vice Captain Tamale Martin. Paddy Carrigan comes back into the team as well. I imagine he'll be named on Team List Tuesday unless there's an injury. The front row pairing is obviously Paddy Carrigan, Sam Hughes, and Josh Curran. Hamole Olakawatu also returns with Kulakefu Finefuiaki into the back row. In terms of our bench, we've gone with Carl Lawton, Tom Hazelton, Dylan Brown, and Jamin Salmon. So expecting a pretty decent week for NRL Fantasy as well. Praying for some big weeks around the Origin period, I should say. Definitely looking forward to some decent scores over the next few weeks. That is the drawing board. Make sure if you enjoy any of this rugby league content to go ahead and click the subscribe button below. Later on tonight, we've got some great content going through my Origin changes after round 17. We've also got a rumour mill podcast about 2 Newcastle Knights individuals being told that they can search for other clubs going into next season as well. So make sure you get stuck into all of that great content, and we'll see you guys in the next one.